So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I beat every single USJ boss fight in My Hero Academia Ultra Impact. It's going to be all 5 bosses. You can find the timestamps for specific bosses in the description. So make sure you check that out if you're looking for a specific boss fight. I'll be showing you guys the team build that I use, and I'll also show you how I did it. If you guys don't know what the USJ event is, it's a mode in My Hero Ultra Impact where you have 15 turns or less in order to beat a boss with over 1 million HP. And in order to 3-star complete it, you do have to beat it with one single team. Now, it doesn't matter if you die. As long as you can beat it in 15 turns or less with one team, you get the 3-star completion. And that's obviously what we're going to be doing today. So let's jump straight into the first team build. So the footage that I'm going to be showing you guys is from the JP side. This is when I did it on JP. Level 5 is still the highest difficulty at the moment. We're going to be showing you guys first the present Mike boss fight. He's a dark type, a destruction type. So you do want to bring yellow units, faith units, in order to get type advantage damage. So I'm actually going to be running a pro hero kind of team. We have double Aizawa guest, and then my own Aizawa at level 85. Then we have the VE Tower All Might, and then I'm running the purple Bakugo. The reason why I'm running purple Bakugo is because, one, at least him being purple, he can tank somewhat well. And he has an effect that lowers the enemy's defense, allowing our yellow characters to do even more damage. And you'll see that throughout the video. And then my sub-units are going to be Todoroki as well as the Deku. And I honestly needed that Bakugo because I needed the fast damage output so that I can beat this guy in less than, I don't know, 10 turns or whatever his restriction is. So let's jump into the battle here. Now, I do want to say most of the units that are in this video, every single boss fight, they are past the 6th table in the ability board. In terms of the purple board, some vary. Some are like level 80 static, some are like up to the 90s. So it really depends on the character. Most of these units aren't fully upgraded as of yet. And that's just what you have to expect in terms of the difficulty. It's just level 5 is the hardest. You expect to obviously upgrade your characters to this capability. Like, if I could do it with level 80 units, then it wouldn't be level 5 difficulty, would it? Anyway, the first turn we just did 50,000 damage. I used the plus ultra instantly with the Bakugo. You need to cycle these plus ultras as fast as possible. The quicker you do it, the more damage you obviously will do throughout the turns. Always using Bakugo's abilities first because he lowers the defense, as you can see on the top of, or at the bottom of the President Mike's bar. Aizawa was actually a very important character as well to bring. He is a must. The reason why he's a must is that he can seal the enemy. President Mike can confuse you, which will mean that some of your characters will not be able to use a skill and might hit your own teammate, which could lead you to a significant death. And of course, with a turn restriction, you need that as many attacks as possible. So taking a confusion is very, very bad, and that's really what I relied on. Of course, you could probably sacrifice a turn or two if you have max level 100 units. But that's unrealistic. Even I can't even do that. And I buy most of the sale gems as possible at the very least. So, got more plus ultras. I do save the Aizawa plus ultra to the point where I can't seal with my own Aizawa. So, at this point, you can see I'm figuring out, oh, should I use my Aizawa or should I use the my own Aizawa? Even though I can't, the Aizawa needs to have a skill chain in order to possibly seal. He can plus ultra seal, so he has 2 ways of sealing. So that's our friend, and now we are at the halfway mark, which is really good. But remember, your damage output is very high at the start because of the fact that you have all your skills on turn 1, and then you have to, and then in the mid turns of the games, you have to wait a few bits because you have to wait for your skills, to return back its cooldown. Got another seal there. I think this was almost a perfect game where President Mike just didn't do any super attacks, which was great. That's what you really want. You can see when he's kind of doing his plus ultra move now, as you can see from his aura. So I was just trying to figure out, can I get a seal in before he gets his plus ultra? So I just went in with the damage first because that will get the Bakugo to lower defense. And then I plus ultra'd with everyone. That's just standard right here. We have 340,000 HP to go with 4 more turns, including this one. And we do all our plus ultras. This should rack up a lot of damage. I didn't see that, but we got the critical there. Bakugo won't do too much. Now, these units are all summonable. I don't expect you guys to have these guys on global straight away. It's just unfortunate. A lot of these units are going to be unfeatured that I'm showing you guys just because, you know, when they were featured, it was only a JP version at that point. But you technically can pull all of these characters from the summons. Now, actually, the good thing was Bakugo died because now we get Deku in who can just hopefully just get the extra bit of damage. Because Deku here, as much as I like to, like, you know, say that he's bad, his early damage output's really, really good, which is why I brought him along. You can use Todoroki as well, but I don't think he can burn said President Mike, so that's why I didn't use him. And as you can see, Aiz was the one doing the most damage. But here is the Todoroki, which is good, because now we have another skill chain potential. And we have 12 turns and one more turn after this, but we should have it in the bag here, I think, with the normal attacks for sure. Yep. So that was the President Mike battle right there. As you can see, I lost 2 characters, but we still get the 3-star completion. That's just how it works in USJ. Next up, we are going to be taking on the level 5 difficulty of the All Might stage, which is the Faith, so the opposite typing of President Mike. This time around, we're running a full destruction team. We are even running an SR. Now, this SR Kirishima, unfortunately, is not available for global players right now. It is a farmable free-to-play card, but you don't really need to bring him. He was just nice as a taunting unit. You can definitely just put Bakugo in. You just need to rely a little bit on luck in terms of All Might, you know, doing the damage on the right character, because your goal here is to keep these 2 units alive. They do the most damage because All Might's a hero. That means the villain units do extra damage. I'm bringing Shigaraki Guest here because Shigaraki is a villain type support. So here we go. We are on turn 1. Activate the taunt ability with the Kirishima, and we start doing the damage. You do the first skills of everyone first. 30,000 per attack, 20,000. Their power spikes happen after you drop underneath 50% HP, especially for All For One. All For One here is really good as he lowers the All Might skill damage, which comes in very handy when it comes to, you know, surviving, of course. The goal here is just hopefully that All Might starts aggroing onto Kirishima and keeping your villain units alive. That way, you know, they can keep on doing the damage. And then you bring in the Bakugo, which then lowers the defense. And then you start doing maximum damage. Like that, Shigaraki almost did max damage, which is 99,000. So with the All For One, you do get the ability to actually recover all of your cooldowns with his Plus Ultra, which is really nice. That way we can lower the skill damage just right before... Actually, you can't even do that. You need a skill chain. I made a mistake there, but that's okay. So with his Plus Ultra, you have to bank that he targets Kirishima because he's the weakest of the bunch because he's an SR character. All for One. All Might should aggro on him, taking him out, wasting pretty much the Plus Ultra, having your UI stay alive. So that's really good. But that's not the end of it. Remember, All Might can... One thing you want to know is that All Might cannot get affected by, like, fear or burns or, you know, those kind of effects where he can take damage. He can be debuffed, just not conditioned, is the wording I should say. Anyway, we have the friend Shigaraki now, or is ours? Have we used our friend? Yeah, okay, we did use our friend there. So we have 400,000 HP with 5 turns remaining. And we do have the lower defense, which is very good. The lower defense is just super awesome. Plus Ultra, but Bakugo did die. But we still have the World Heroes Mission Deku. Now, we don't... On Global, we're not able to get the World Heroes Deku, but you can probably pull a different Dark character. I don't know who the other Dark characters are. I think there's a Dark Todoroki now. A Destruction Todoroki. So you can add him to the team instead. And then, of course, future Destruction units. Because right now, World Hero Mission Deku is not pullable at this point in time. But Deku's pretty strong here. He's outputting decent damage. He's not particularly anything crazy. He was just my only other dark character at this point. And he's only level 80 here, so don't expect him to do too much. 20,000, it was good enough, to be honest. And then Shigaraki does his like 3rd, 4th plus ultra here, 93,000 damage. And then All For One finishes off, making it the true villain timeline for 49,000. So that was the All Might right there, 3-star. Now the next boss we are going to be taking on is the Aizawa, which is a blue type. So we'll be running green typing here. Ochako, Hawks, and Todoroki is our main lineup, with Shinso, as well as the SR Aizawa, which is very irrelevant at the sub lineup. These are the memories that we are using. They're all very, very, very good UR memories. And then level 80 Ochako, so she wasn't really invested. Level 90 Hawks and level 90 Todoroki. And the friend we're going to be using is hopefully a level 100, if you can find one, Ochako. So here we go, first turn. Aizawa can seal you, so do be careful. Hawks is really nice at the start because it gives you a free dodge. He does lower all your attacks at the start as well with his passive. He's passive. And so your damages won't be good at the start, but you just have to plow through it here. Using everybody's first skills here, getting the double tap as well. And we're getting the free dodges, which is good. I tend to not use the Ochako heal unless I really need it, or if the dodges from Hawk's ability have disappeared. And with the counters, that's really, really good. Those counters can actually stack up to be pretty strong as well, which is pretty nice. Ochako will probably be aggroed a lot because she's the weakest. I guess it wasn't planned, but it was a nice little setup that I did. Todoroki getting his plus ultra, 58,000. You cannot burn him, or I think you can freeze him, but I don't think you can burn him. So I don't think you can burn any boss, to be honest. But I'm not too sure if you can freeze him. He's getting his first plus ultra. So once he has these plus ultra, I instantly use the dodging mechanic. By using the dodging mechanic, you obviously don't take any plus ultra damage because you have the free dodge. And Ochako's skill allows everyone to get a free dodge. So that was awesome. That's, I think, a very key part of the strategy. You don't really need Todoroki, you don't really need Hawks, but all of these are day 1 characters, so you can actually pull these pretty easily on global. So I guess this is a more free-to-play friendly team. We got the plus ultra for Ochako here, but as you can see, we got sealed. It's not really a way to counteract that. I think you can run Shinso to get, hopefully, like, stall that out, but I'd rather have Todoroki on the battle. So now we don't have that, so we activate the counters. Todoroki's almost dead, unfortunately. So I just needed him to survive a little bit longer so we can get some more damage. And luckily, Ochako was the one targeted, and as well as Hawk, so making the Todoroki get at least one more plus ultra in before he dies eventually. 55,000. Ochako and Hawks together are really good because Hawks gets a really nice buff if he does have the dodge mechanic activated. And we did 70,000 with Todoroki. Thankfully, Todoroki did not get hit, so we get another skill chain going for him. Every skill chain counts. It allows us to get that plus ultra again. With only 3 turns remaining, nowhere near for plus ultras. It's pretty much all a skill chain kind of deal. We did get the freeze, which is awesome, and 100,000 damage, which was crazy. We get the counter for an extra 10k. We just had to strictly go for normals. This is a no-brainer. I was just trying to calculate, like, what am I going to get for the next turn? We get the heal, so that was pretty clutch. I don't know if I use the heal until the next turn, but I think with such low HP, you gotta do it. And you do the heal first, that way the Hawks gets a bigger buff, by the way, because he gets his dodge mechanic. And because we're faster, we plus ultra before the Aizawa, and that was a perfect run against Aizawa. So nobody died right there. The second last boss is probably the easiest boss out of all of them, and that is the Endeavor, just because of how strong blue typing is. Even for the global players, day one players, the blue team should be pretty strong. Now, as you can see, this is a very interesting team, and I'll tell you why the strat is kind of interesting. We're running an SR Kirishima that you get from the USJ shop. He just has these taunt. I just had to pick a weak taunting unit. We have the blue Momo, who's a blue support. We have a guest Momo, of course, to get the double support, Bakugo, and then our sub-units are going to be Air Force Deku, as well as a SR All Might. Unfortunately, SR All Might is not a pullable character, a farmable character, unfortunately, anymore. You will have to wait until the story event comes back, if it does, but you can replace that with any UR blue character. I don't even think you even need the All Might, to be honest, but he's just a nice backup character that I had. So here we go, turn 1 here. The goal here is to waste Endeavor's ability on the Kirishima. That was pretty much the goal. He has an AoE as well, so the AoE is going to do a lot of damage to us. The first skill here is a targeted skill, I believe, and the reason why you want to taunt is so that Kirishima takes the targeted, and then he dies off the AoE. So that's Endeavor's little thing. He does an AoE attack. So his next skill is going to be AoE. I think he cycles single target AoE, single target AoE. And the single target is obviously really, really strong. That's why we don't obviously want to take the big hit. And the reason why we picked a really weak taunting unit is so that he can die on this AoE, and then we can bring our DPSs back up. Because obviously having 2 units here is not enough to beat a 1 million HP unit in 13 turns. That's why we need to die as soon as possible. And there he goes. He dies right there. And that's and then we bring back our DPS to a normal status here. Always use Bakugo's AP shot first. It lowers defense so that your rest of the units can do a lot more damage. Do I use that Momo guest ability? I shouldn't have. Actually, actually, it's not bad, because Momo's ability with her plus ultra gains everybody a plus ultra gauge increase. So actually, I don't mind that, even though it is a little bit less damage because Bakugo didn't lower the defense. It just allows us to get our plus ultras really, really quickly, which we do have that right here. So definitely got to use that again. Unfortunately, in terms of speed, I would have liked Momo to plus ultra first. It just gives Bakugo a plus ultra increase, but the Deku gets a double plus ultra increase, and we did 99,999 damage, which was the maximum damage you can do in the game. So we're just about halfway now, and Deku activates his dodging mechanic, which is pretty cool. We have another skill chain, but I decided to skip it because I wanted the triple skill chain, I think. Yeah, the triple skill chain will give us the plus ultra increase faster. I'd assume I was just expecting Deku to die soon. That's why. But we got the heal in. And I do it again. I guess I'm keeping the plus ultra. It makes sense. We don't have much turns to work up another plus ultra attack with Deku anyway. And since we got the opportunity to lower the enemy's defense, why not? Unluckily, Momo did die through burn damage, so Endeavor can burn, but as long as our big DPS, Deku, Bakugo, were able to do a plus ultra, if Bakugo gets like a max damage again, that's really good, but without the support, he's probably not going to do that, unless he like guaranteed himself a crit. No, 72,000. I think a crit would have got that max damage, and then Deku's time to plus ultra, 49,000, and with 76,000 and 2 turns left, it became very, very scary. I delayed the skill from All Might just so I could skill chain. Yeah, does it make a small difference? Probably. I think skill chains does increase the damage slightly. It's just what it feels like. I really haven't paid attention, but then left it with 10,000 HP, and then we did a normal attack. That was really close there. Obviously, having more upgraded units would be the best scenario. And then the final boss fight that I want to show you guys is the Gran Torino boss fight. He is a green type, so bringing a red mono team is the best. I think he's definitely one of the hardest bosses out of the 5. So we're running red Kirishima, red Endeavor, as well as the red Deku. As much as I hate the Dekus, I mean, because USJ, you have so little time, the DPS on the short time is really, really good. Then we have Bakugo in here. He's another just a useful character to lower the enemy's defense. You could use Blue Bakugo as well, but he doesn't have as much lowering defense mechanics. And the Blue Bakugo obviously is type disadvantage. But yeah, pretty worked up characters, all level 85 as well. So this will be a good one to watch. So the problem with Gran Torino, obviously him being a million HP, 13 turns, is that he provides himself with the mechanic of double tap, which allows him to normal attack twice. And the normal attacks is really strong against us. The goal here is to keep Deku as low HP as possible while getting all the hits against the Kirishima and countering as much as possible. We can't burn Gran Torino, so the endeavor here, we do also want to keep him on low HP if possible. That's where Kirishima's job really comes into handy. We need him to taunt when it's most important. And then Deku plus Ultra is going to drop his health quite a bit. I'm always praying for a crit from this plus Ultra as well, but we did not. 53,000. That would have jumped to like 70k if we got the crit. Endeavor plus Ultra as well. These guys work better if they're lower HP. But the good thing about the plus Ultra with the Endeavor is that he gains grit, so he can live on 1 HP. Now that does get counteracted if the double tap is activated. So that's unfortunate. A good thing is Deku can gain his plus Ultra really quickly. First plus Ultra from my Kirishima, that will give him barrier, allowing him to survive 2 hits. You kind of want to do that when he's about to plus Ultra. I don't know why I actually did that. It's been a while since I'd run this team and run this battle, so I don't remember exactly like the full calculations and full process thinking. But there was definitely an order to this. Took me quite a bit. If you guys didn't know as well, if you're about to lose, you can just press menu and quit and you won't run out of your USJ tries. 50,000 from the red Deku. Because he's very low on HP, he can keep up his damage output because he's living on 1 HP right now. He can't kill himself, but he can get low. So we do have the taunt activated, which is awesome. And the barrier still activated from the Kirishima. So that means he can tank this plus Ultra from Gran Torino, which was great. And I used everybody's plus Ultra, even the friends this time here. 33,000, 28,000. Deku's our biggest damage dealer. Hopefully he gets a crit. That would be max damage. No, 82,000. It's still good damage regardless. And there was no damage from the plus Ultra, which was good. But now our barrier is gone. Luckily, we have our plus Ultra coming up very soon again. And at this point, we needed to just try to get some more skill chains, but we have to normal attack in this spot. And we did the plus Ultras first and the skill attack from Deku, because you never know. He might be the next one dead because we have no taunt ability. So I was just fingers crossed, please Deku get an attack. Because as you can see, Gran Torino is super fast here. Luckily, he targets the Kirishima. So then the Deku here gets the attack in, just that extra little bit of DPS. We have 200,000 HP to go just before the Endeavor plus Ultra. 30,000, 170,000 damage to go. Now the Bakugo comes into play now to lower the enemy's defense, so that in the last 3 turns that we have here, we can do just that little bit of extra damage that we need to do. Alright, here we go. And luckily, with Grit, Endeavor survived on 1 HP. That's the power of Grit. Now, we just need to make sure that he does not get hit from Gran Torino. Usually, Gran Torino should target Bakugo or the weakest one. And luckily, he did not target Endeavor. With 60,000 HP, this was our last move. Lower the defense of the Torino. So this is just all we can do. The best skill ability from the Endeavor is his second ability, where it's single target, 10,000 damage, 49,000 damage, and the counter finishes up. The counters are really strong, 30,000 critical. The more counters you get, the better. But yeah, that was the Gran Torino and the final USJ boss level 5. Hopefully they don't release level 6 anytime soon. But yeah, that wraps up all of the USJ boss fights. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I personally haven't done it on global as of yet. I obviously have not pulled enough characters to even attempt even level 5. So let me know if you can apply all of these effects and these strategies on level 4, level 3, level 2, of course, and future ones as well, as long as you keep upgrading characters. If you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on for more My Hero Ultra Impact content. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, stay busy.